Hello everyone and welcome! I've got a quick video for you all today on perhaps one of the most talked about subjects in this current day and age, artificial intelligence. Yeah, I know I'm probably about the millionth person you've seen make a video on this topic, but there are a few things more specifically related to the RC and model building hobby that I wanted to briefly discuss. Now, as a bit of a confession here, I don't necessarily want to call today's video filler, but as I've been trying to get at least one long-form video out here on the channel every week, the RC build video that was supposed to come out today still needs a bit more time to edit. At the same time, I'm hoping to be able to get out and do some RC car chase filming this weekend, so I thought why not put together this little video here today to not only discuss a topic that I think is pretty important, but to also help bridge the gap. I'm very excited to be sharing my latest build video with all of you, as I'm really happy with how this car turned out, but more on that coming soon. For now though, enjoy some footage of me building this 1/24 scale 2010 Shelby GT500. I can't believe it's been over like 5 years at this point since I put this car together, but it definitely turned out looking good. Honestly, it's been a lot of fun to look back at some of this footage, but today I want to talk about AI and its relation to this hobby, as well as a few potentially concerning things I've observed over the past few years in this regard. First of all, I know there is a lot to be said on the topic of AI, both some positive and negative, a lot of which is a bit above my pay grade if I'm being honest. But what I really want to focus in on is how it specifically relates to the RC and model building hobby that this channel sort of slots into. Now, funny enough, I received a number of comments over the past probably couple of years at this point, inquiring or even accusing my voiceovers as being AI generated. Although I kind of find these comments equal parts disappointing and mildly amusing, I can assure you that every word that comes out of my mouth, including all of the flubs and mispronunciations, are in fact my own. A bit dry, robotic, and monotone, sure, I'll admit to that. But in any way AI generated, absolutely not. Although if enough people are just going to think that's the case, I might as well save a few hours and let the AI do all the work, right? I mean, that's more time to spend playing around with RC vehicles. I'm only joking, I won't be doing that. However, with this topic in mind, I do really feel bad for some of the extremely talented artists, builders, and photographers who can produce incredible looking models or even fantastic pieces of art and videos, both in and outside of this hobby, with countless hours being spent and years of experience dedicated to their craft, only to share their work online and have folks instantly assuming or accusing their work as being AI. It's disappointing as I know creators personally who do incredible work but can be kind of let down when their high level of skill is simply dismissed as AI. It's a crazy world sometimes. You've got people not only thinking that AI stuff is real, but then that real stuff is AI. For better, and I guess for worse, the AI-generated images and videos have gotten a lot better as time has progressed. Now, as I have pointed out here on the channel, AI can be a great tool for research, shockingly good at times in all honesty. Even when it comes to more niche topics, such as the RC hobby or specific automotive-related questions, I've been surprised at how good the information provided can actually be. That said though, I've also observed countless instances of AI confidently providing completely false information, again particularly with more niche subjects. AI, to me, sort of reminds me of using a GPS. In a lot of ways, it's a great tool, but some fact-checking, common sense, and human intervention is often necessary to achieve the best results. Sure, taking all these windy rural back roads might shave 3 minutes off the total trip, at least according to it. But even if it's a bit longer, I think I'll just stay on the interstate and make things a lot simpler. But that's just my philosophy anyways, a great tool, but God help you if you're going to blindly follow everything it says. Sure, I've received some helpful information from AI, but there's also been a few instances where smoke would have left the electronics and things would have been ruined if I had followed its instructions with no further scrutiny. Now, a tool for research is one thing, but when it comes to images and videos, I'm sure you all are probably familiar with the term AI slop. Mass-produced and, in my opinion, kind of soulless videos or pictures, generated sometimes just for fun, but many times too, to also try and get a lot of clicks or even mislead people. While fortunately, I don't think AI slop is nearly as big of an issue in this hobby as it has been for other things, it is certainly present. At a glance, it might look legit, but look a little closer and, yeah, not so much. I don't want this video to simply be reacting to or pointing out AI content. I'll say that there are some that are certainly more convincing than others, but I'm going to continue with the assumption that we're all aware of the concept of AI slop, and it's something that you've more than likely seen on your own timeline, whether it's related to the RC hobby or another interest you have. Using YouTube as an example, the idea to profit off of this content is pretty simple. With minimal effort, you can generate a video simply using a prompt, post excessive quantities, get clicks, get paid from the ad revenue those videos received, and rinse and repeat with the next channel or topic. No need to educate yourself on a specific subject, no need to pick up a tool, no need to get outside and touch a little grass to capture some cool looking shots, yet you'll be able to produce content at a rate that no mere mortal could ever hope to accomplish. As for the entertainment, quality, accuracy, and value of this content, well, I suppose everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Now don't get me wrong, as far as using AI as a part of the creative process, or for assisting, keyword assisting, in the research of a particular topic, it can absolutely be a fantastic and useful tool. For my own workflow, it's helped to both save some time and eliminate some headaches. I think just about everyone here has probably had some fun running their pictures through an AI to make some changes or create an entirely different background. If you've been following along with some of these smaller scale RC car chases that we've showcased here on the channel, you'll know that AI has proved to be helpful for easily creating some backgrounds to place on this green screen to help add some additional depth and realism to these scenes. We're still out there building cars, crashing cars, and filming all of this stuff IRL. It's all the real deal. But a little use of some special effects can really help elevate the final product and are a lot of fun to add. Of course, we are fully transparent about its use and the backgrounds of these shots as we make these videos showcasing the development of these chases and setting up all of these stunts. Obviously, the more practical effects and the more stuff that we can do IRL, the better, but with a limited budget and a limited amount of space in my shop to store all of these cardboard buildings, that little bit of extra green screen magic can really help add some additional depth. At the end of the day, it's not just a fun thing to share with all of you here on the channel, but it's also a good challenge to try and see how closely we can replicate some of the action seen in these Hollywood car chases here with these functional, smaller scale models. It's also a lot more rewarding and interesting than simply typing in a few sentences into an AI, even if that technology is readily available. I think it's fair to draw a distinction between the limited use of AI versus simply typing in a couple of sentences and generating an entire video, especially if it's being passed off as something that hasn't been generated. Though I suppose one of the elephants in the room is the fact that AI didn't just come up with all of this stuff on its own, and instead has taken and learned from countless individuals, artists, businesses, studios, and even creators like myself, presumably with minimal, if any, form of attribution or compensation, or even consent. I suppose it could and probably has been argued that what the AI is doing is considered transformative, but again, way above my pay grade. Now at the end of the day, as a YouTube creator, does the presence of AI-generated videos really bother me? I mean, not really. Sure, it can be a little frustrating to put some serious effort into a video that gets a fraction of the attention as something simply generated using AI. I think any content creator would feel the same. I know for me personally, I really enjoy watching videos made by fellow humans. But unless it's just straight up copying or impersonating myself or a video posted here on the channel, I simply don't have control over what other people post on this website. And honestly, I'm just thankful that anybody finds these videos entertaining. There's plenty of channels and videos out there that I watch, made by fellow humans that I thoroughly enjoy, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I'm also extremely thankful to have so many awesome channel members and Patreon supporters who have helped to monetarily support this channel, which of course means that you folks in the audience are the ones who fund these videos, not simply the ad revenue made here on YouTube. At the end of the day, it's up to all of us viewers to decide what we want to watch, and from there, what gets promoted in the algorithm. While I don't really stay up to date on the latest YouTube news, it seems that for a while, YouTube was rather indifferent to the proliferation of AI-generated content, which at least in my opinion as both a creator and especially a viewer was kind of disappointing. I mean, as long as people are on the website, what difference does it really make to them? Although that said, it does seem that YouTube is maybe starting to crack down more on AI-generated content. If my understanding is correct, before it was up to each individual uploading a video to disclose whether or not it was AI-generated. Of course, with nothing stopping you from simply not disclosing the content. But now it seems that YouTube, I guess, has its own AI that's looking over these videos, and if it detects AI-generated content, it will be given an AI label underneath the video. In theory, it's good to have this transparency for the viewer, and also while this content will still be okay to post, YouTube may decide not to pay any ad revenue to the uploader for videos that are AI-generated. You would think that taking away that financial incentive would help slow down the explosion of this type of content, and remove a major incentive as to why people are posting this type of content in the first place. But again, I'm really not up to date on all of the latest news and what's going on with YouTube. It seems like a decent enough policy, but as far as how well it gets executed, I guess time will tell. At the end of the day, if people want to watch AI videos, whether they know it or not, that's whatever. I'm honestly just here to enjoy the hobby and take anyone else who's interested along with me, whether that's 100,000 people or 1,000 people, I'm just happy to see people out there watching. But here's where I think things have become a bit more of an issue, and is really the closing message that I want for this video, and that's simply to be careful. because some of these accounts that I see posting these AI-generated RC or model car videos and pictures seem to be misleading when it comes to trying to sell a product. Some people who are posting these AI videos may just be doing so for views and the clicks, and that's whatever. Again, not something I really want to spend my time watching, but to each their own. That's one thing, however, it's another when you have an account seemingly using this type of artificial content to try and sell things such as fake images and videos of a product that you think you can buy right now, but it in fact doesn't even exist. I think I've noticed this the most on Facebook and Instagram, but I'm sure it's all over the place. But just sort of as a basic random example here, it took me a matter of seconds using Google Gemini to create this image here of the all-new tooling 1/24 scale Revell 1980 Chevrolet Citation plastic model kit. Obviously, this is a completely fake product. Revell is not in fact producing a model kit replicating the esteemed Chevrolet Citation. Unfortunately though, I've seen people both in and outside of this hobby using extremely simple tactics like this to scam people out of money or misrepresent products, and obviously it's very easy to do, as can be seen here. Obviously, yeah, in its current state, you can still tell it's AI generated if you look closely. It tried to change the model number here, for example, but it didn't really do a great job. But man, at a passing glance, this might be able to fool some people, so again, just be careful out there. When you're presenting a video or image like this that seems to be representing an actual product that you can purchase, I think that's a much bigger issue and where some people really need to be careful. While you and I might be able to see a video or image like this and can immediately tell that it's not real, a quick look at the comments would seem to suggest that this isn't the case for everyone. And in all fairness, there is some AI-generated content that's far more convincing than what you're seeing here. And then another thing that I think is worth pointing out is when you're making your own videos or building your own cars, make sure that you're not comparing yourself to stuff out there that isn't even real. We're all learning, we're all trying our best, and hopefully getting better with each project. It's bad enough when you start comparing your models to the expert builders out there with decades of experience with all of the tools and incredible abilities. But when you unknowingly start comparing your projects to images that aren't even real, that's a whole nother thing. But basically, to wrap this video up, have fun, stay safe, make smart purchases. Well, okay, smart maybe isn't really the right word here, but make purchases of actual products that actually exist and aren't scams. Whether or not it's a good idea or a smart idea to buy it, that's another topic. But anyways, if you guys have any opinions or experiences that you'd like to share below in the comments, definitely feel free to do so. Like I said at the beginning, I've got some more build videos on the way, including one that's just about ready to go up on the channel, which you'll be seeing next week. I'm really happy with how that car turned out, and I'm very excited to be sharing that project with all of you. But that's all I've got for today's video. As always, a huge thanks to all of our channel members and Patreon supporters for helping to make these videos possible, and a huge thanks to each and every one of you for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you all next time.